Newborns Vietnam is a charity registered in England, works on a volunteer basis to help improve the life chances for infants and mothers in Southeast Asia, mainly in Vietnam. This charity provides nursing training programs to help reduce neonatal mortality rate of infants by enhancing the knowledge, skills, and practice for nurses in the newborn care sector. David Lloyd is a photographer and writer who lives in Hanoi for 4 years. He often cycles on the streets of Hanoi and started biking to Ba Vie Mountain. David Lloyd made one of the biggest challenges in the world, named EVERESTING, to fundraise for the Newborns Vietnam. Website everesting.cc enrolled a total of 238 people, successfully conquering Everesting around the world in the Hall of Fame. However, in these, there hadn't anyone complete this challenge in Vietnam.
Hello everyone, and we're here at the beautiful scenario of Ba Vie Resort, and we're here to observe a record that has been made by an UK cyclist, and he is here to fundraising for Newborns Vietnam. Now let's talk to him, Mr. David Lloyd, to know more about the motives behind this activity. Thank you, David, so much for joining Sharing Vietnam. So, how do you know Newborns Vietnam, and how do you come up with this idea?
I know Newborns Vietnam because I've lived in Hanoi for 4 years, and I cycle with a number of people in Hanoi who have a connection with Newborns Vietnam because they've done the Cycle a Difference ride from Lao Cai down to Da Nang with the charity to raise money. And also another slightly small, strange connection. My friend Ashley, I went with him to Ha Giang, and he lives in Hoi An, and we discovered that he was neighbours with Susanna in Hoi An. So I have 2 connections, one some friends in Hanoi and one friend in Hoi An, and so there's lots of people who are familiar with them, so it's a natural thing to do. And also because I'm British and it's a British charity working with Vietnam, it was an easy decision to make.
So this activity is named Everesting. We would like to know, what does Everesting mean?
Everesting is a challenge of climbing one hill in one continuous effort until you've reached the height of Everest, so 8,848 metres. It was invented in Australia, in I think Canberra, and at that time it was only really people in Canberra and around Canberra that did it, and it spread slowly out of Australia, and now you see people doing Everesting around the world. But in Asia I only know of, or East Asia, I know one in Hong Kong and one in Korea. It's not very popular here yet, but I think it will become quite quickly quite popular here.
So amazingly, after 15 hours of continuously cycling, you have conquered your challenge, and you have actually Everesting in Ba Vie, Vietnam. So how do you feel after successfully accomplish this goal?
Yeah, I feel good. I didn't feel very good a few hours ago. There were 9. I had to go up Ba Vie 9 times, and on the 5th time, it felt terrible. Kind of sick and seeing flashing lights in front of my eyes, and it was quite horrible. But after that one, from 6, 7, 8, I got stronger and stronger, and on the last one felt quite good.
"21 cyclists, including 6 Vietnamese, had cycled along with David. David's challenge is held within the framework called Cycle a Difference. In 2 years, Newborns Vietnam had raised about 500,000 from its biking activities.
The activity today is one of many cycling activities that cyclists from England undertake in Vietnam. As most people will know, the UK has had a lot of success in cycling at the Tour de France and the Olympics, and cycling is used in England as a way of raising funds to support good causes. And many people, old and young, from all walks of life, get on their bicycles and they take on big challenges to raise funds for different activities. David has done two things. He has had a charity page on the website where he has invited other cyclists and friends and family from around the world to put a donation online for his cycling today. And I think he has now raised about $3,400. And very kindly, the bicycle company in Hanoi have donated a town bicycle for David to auction to raise further funds, and the Hanoi Cooking School have donated some cooking lessons. So it has inspired many companies and individuals to make a donation to David's cycling effort. So I think he will probably finish on about $4,000.
As the British ambassador, I think that it's wonderful that a British charity and British cyclists and British nurses are helping in this way. So I'm here today to show my support for that.
Tôi nghĩ là ai đã đạp xe hay bất cứ một ai mà nhìn thấy một cái hành động của David Lloyd thì cũng đều ủng hộ cả. Một người từ nước ngoài trong đây mà họ sẵn sàng làm những cái điều mà không phải bỏ tiền vào túi họ mà làm vì một cái trẻ em nghèo như thế. Đạp 9 vòng, một cơ thể thép, một con người cực yêu xe đạp, một con người máu lửa.
Starting from 3 a.m. until now, David Lloyd had just finished the journey by the height of EVERESTING, which is almost 9,000 meters. This is the first time an athlete chose Vietnam as the destination for conquering EVERESTING. His determination for meaningful activities like this has created incentives for members of Cycle a Difference, as well as a lot of athletes participating in cycling in Vietnam to respond.
So obviously set yourself up for such a high challenge. This has to mean more than a personal hobby. So how does this activity mean for you?
It means a lot in terms of raising money for Newborns Vietnam, because I think now we've raised around $3,500 for this challenge, but I think more money will come in the next week or so. So it means a lot to me that we've raised a lot of money for Newborns Vietnam, and also it's forged some nice links between different cycling clubs in Hanoi. So there's Thang Long Cycling, Tour de Fun Cycling, Giant Cycling Club. They all came out today and cycled with Hanoi cyclists. So it's been a great experience to bring all the cyclists together.
Talking about cycling for fundraising in Vietnam, you have been an active member for Cycle a Difference. So can you share with us a little bit about Cycle a Difference and what are the activities of this group and how does it work incorporated with the Newborns Vietnam?
Cycle a Difference is very closely related to Newborns Vietnam. So Newborns Vietnam is the charity which improves neonatal care. They raise their money, most of their money, through Cycle a Difference challenges. So Cycle a Difference, the main challenge is the one I mentioned before from Lao Cai down to Da Nang. That's the Cycle a Difference ride. So it's Cycle a Difference is the main fundraising activity for Newborns Vietnam. Cycle a Difference is not an organisation, it's the main fundraising and cycle event for Newborns Vietnam. So raise considerable amounts of money. A lot of the people who do this are who cycle for Cycle a Difference work for quite large companies, or they own companies, or they're directors of companies, so they have access to quite large donations from their businesses and from their sort of corporate clients.
So how do you think, as a sports savior, how can you make this become a trend, become a social trend in Vietnam?
I imagine that people who've seen this event might be inspired to do something similar, or not necessarily Everesting, but maybe a long distance cycle ride from Hanoi, for example. A lot of groups do we call a century, which means it's 100 miles or 160 kilometers. Normally people do it really for fun, but that's the kind of thing people could do and raise a little bit of money from their company they work for, or maybe even friends and family. So hopefully people will be inspired to do those challenges and also raise money for newborns at the same time.
So after this challenge has been conquered, do you plan on any future activities like Everesting, doing Everesting anywhere else in Vietnam?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. There's one. So to do it here is quite easy in terms of logistics and planning, because it's quite close to Hanoi. But the other one I would like to do is in Ha Giang, but obviously getting people to Ha Giang is much more problematic. So maybe that's not ideal. There's Tam Dao as well, which is possible, but I think maybe I'd leave Tam Dao and maybe hopefully a Vietnamese person will go and do Tam Dao.
Okay, so one more time, congratulations, David, for accomplish this goal, and I hope that you will have more activities like this in Vietnam to set an example for the Vietnamese cycler and for people who love sports, that they can do something more than just a personal hobby. And that's the end for Sharing Vietnam today. Thank you so much for watching us, and I hope that you have seen a meaningful act in Vietnam among those foreigners who live here. Any questions and recommendations, please email at sharingvietnam@vietnam.net. Thank you, and see you again.